Ethan, you've publicly documented your journey along the way for the last few years, and I want to know, does the accountability of having fans and being present on social media shift the pressure for you, or does it help you maintain the accountability?
It's been very helpful for me. I will say that I've lost a tremendous amount of weight a number of times, and there was certainly, 15, almost 20 years ago where I lost weight and I just wanted to pretend to forget about the old me and to just present the new me and not to talk about it. It felt very painful to talk about. And I was ashamed of it and I wanted to hide it. And then I gained the weight back. And uh, being as honest and open and transparent as I possibly can and being accountable to people and saying, like, look, this stuff worked for me, this stuff didn't work for me. It keeps me in the headspace that I need to be in, because the reality is I'm gonna have to put some effort into this for the rest of my life. And I've become okay with that. There was a version of me that wanted desperately to hit a number on a scale and be done and never have to think about it again. And every time I behaved that way, I gained the weight back.
Yeah, I think maintaining the weight and having that positive mindset, especially around the holidays when everybody is kind of inclined to be a little bit off of their routine, so to speak. Just a follow up to what I just asked you, how do you protect your routine when life gets chaotic? Whether you're out of the house, you're filming a movie, you got responsibilities with, your keiki, your kids, travel. How do you zero in and actually pay attention to those goals?
I just did a movie and it was 5 weeks of night shoots. I don't really find it easy to sleep during the day. So I would, get home at 6, 7 a.m., sleep for 2 or 3 hours, get up, try to have a day with my wife where I'm just utterly exhausted, take a nap and go back to work. And, I managed to eat okay, but I found myself much hungrier. And my gym routine basically fell apart. Now, that was a 5 week period of time that I went in knowing it was going to be disruptive to my schedule. And I kind of just gave myself the grace to experience what I was experiencing for that period of time, not beat myself up, not allow myself to go off the rails and order pizzas and binge eat, but to recognize, like, I'm gonna be more hungry, so I need to have more of the foods that's conducive to how I want to maintain my physicality, and go to the gym when I'm rested, but not let it turn into a total disaster. So I didn't wind up gaining 15 pounds over the course of the movie, thank God. But there was a version of me that when one thing went out and I wound up not sleeping for a few days and I ate a little too much one day, that I would just throw my hands up and go, like, well, for the rest of this movie, I'm going to eat everything I think of. I'm not going to exercise, and who cares? And I'll figure out. And then it would have been months after I'd gotten back. And I basically was able to come back into my normal schedule and get right back on track because of that.
Excellent. And if I can ask one more thing for Tony, your guest there, Gregory was just on here saying this all or nothing mentality. I'm going to finish the whole pint. I'm going to drink that whole case of beer. Um, Tony, what is your advice to somebody who, like Ethan, has struggled with the demons of addiction? My example here is I have been a cigarette smoker for 25 plus years and I had just quit for 18 months. Well, all it took for me was one social engagement with a friend. I bummed a dart and now it's all I can think about, that loop again. So, again, Tony, what do you think about that all or nothing mentality and how do you break that cycle as well?
It's really tough to go through it because I think you can probably even sit there and know, like, logically it doesn't make sense, right? But there's one thing to, like, see something logically, but then the other side is, like, every cell in your body is telling you something else. It's the whole, what's the thought process? Like, if you get a flat tire, just going and slashing the other three, it's like, well, I got one flat, might as well just flatten them all. It's like, no, that doesn't make any, like, you can know it doesn't make sense, but especially when you're in that mindset, or if it's especially like dealing with addiction or with food, it's like you can know that, but every cell in your body is telling you something else. Like, you are feeling something else. And that's the hard thing to escape. And I think that's where putting more focus over time on it sounds like something that I've used, but it does not work for everybody, but just some sort of actual attention to like the mental patterns and changing those over time. If it's meditation, if it's a therapist, if it's something else, can really help because I feel like so many people have no problem putting so much effort, 5, 6 hours a week into the gym, couple hours to meal prep, all this stuff. But then when it comes to things like, sleep habits or improving their mental health, it's like they don't spend more than 5 minutes on it, right? They don't take it super, super seriously. And I think that's, again, it's not like a flip of a switch, but in those times, I think that's where bringing it back to the guardrails point, those can really help bridge and get you over because again, like they're not there to keep you perfect. Like you're going to feel probably anxious about not having this, or you're going to feel one way, but that's the whole point of guardrails. It's not to make you not feel that way. It's to help you get past that so you can get to a better space to then fix it. It's like when you're going through all these crazy things, and that's back to your first question, just to touch on it, where you asked if like social media helps keep you accountable. In anyone's life, the more ties of accountability you can have, whether if it is social media, if it's a group on Facebook you join, like someone you're in a relationship with, a friend, like someone else doing the same thing as you, the more ties you can have, the harder it is to like cut through them, right? Like if it's just you and you're not relying on a relationship or a group or a friend or whatever, all it takes is one bad day or one bad this, and you're just falling off a cliff. Like, and it's no going back. So trying to find different things in your life that can help keep you accountable are so underrated. If it's a friend, even if it's not a friend in like real life, because I know it's even hard to just go out and make someone who's like-minded like that. Finding someone online that you can just talk to all the time is ridiculously helpful, like ridiculously helpful.
Yeah, I'll second that too. For sobriety, for me, it's integral to have somebody that I can call who knows firsthand what I'm experiencing. And so I think that, it's one thing to have, because like I talk to my wife about this a lot. She doesn't really understand, and she might say she does, but she's been battling with 3 pounds her whole life. Like she really, and that's meaningful to her. So I don't want to totally poo-poo that, but it's not quite the same as what I've been dealing with. Um, and so talking to other like-minded people is incredibly helpful.
Well, I again want to thank you for building this community and bringing cats together that maybe couldn't meet in real life, but here we can have a solidarity, a brotherhood. So, aloha again from the Big Island. I'll talk to you again next week. And Tony, thanks again for your time. And Trace, hit me up, brother.